Well, we've heard the conventional wisdom on this race. Eric Cantor spent $150,000 on in steakhouses, while his opponent was spending $200,000, roughly the same amount of money, on flyers. In fact, I have one here in my hand. Washington insider Eric Cantor, conservative Dave Bratt. Excuse me. It's Jim, our video guy, lives in Cantor's district and was a party to. In fact, I've got Eric Cantor's flyer right here in my hand too, or sitting right next to me. But we've heard the conventional wisdom. I'm curious, and you heard my take this morning on what actually happened and who paid for it and how did it happen and who the hell was Dave Bratt and why did a bank give him $500,000 as they were being bailed out by George W. Bush. And then the guy who gave him the $500,000 now is the head guy working for Charles Koch. And what's that all about? And what about the $22 million that went to the right-wing talkers, including Laura Ingraham and Mark Levin, who are single-handedly taking credit for this? I'm curious the Tea Party take on this. And Scotty Nell Hughes is one of my favorite Tea Party people. She's the news director of the Tea Party News Network, the author of the forthcoming book, Roar! Out in September. The website TPNH, as in Tea Party News. What's the H? Headquarters?
It's an N.
TPNN. Oh, I've got a piece of dust on my screen. Tea Party News Network. You're right. Scotty Nell Hughes. Great to have you back with us, Scotty.
Thank you. And, Tom, I'm surprised. I thought that you would be, like, president of the Dave Bratt fan club. I was totally counting on you on this one.
Well, I think that it's... I'm fairly ambivalent about it. This guy, because this guy has Koch brother money behind him in a really big way, I think it's going to be really hard for a Democrat to beat him, and he's probably going to be the next member of Congress, and the Republicans will continue to hold that 7th district in Virginia seat. That said, he's not. The 7th district of Virginia is going to lose a lot of political power that they used to have. They're going to lose a lot of pork that they used to get. I don't think these guys realize who live in the district how badly they've shot themselves in the foot. But I don't see this as any great. I don't think that there's any chance a Democrat's going to get this seat. Do you?
Well, no, I don't think there's any chance, especially when you're considering this is a Democrat district where they don't even have a real primary. They just nominate the person. That's the person.
Yeah, it's a Republican. It's a Republican district. You mean?
It's a Republican district.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I love about this. Obviously, you're sitting here and you're talking about the Koch brothers. Bratt only raised $206,000 compared to the $4.7 million that Eric Cantor had in his war chest.
You're right.
So I'm really wondering where you're thinking this Koch brother money coming in, especially considering 30% of all of Bratt's fundraising was in $200 increments, under $200 increments.
Right.
That doesn't sound very.
No, I'm not saying the Koch brothers financed his campaign. I'm saying that the Koch brothers and people affiliated with them created him. He's a creature of them. He got a $500,000 grant back in 2008 to become a professor at this university, specifically to teach Ayn Rand and libertarian economics. This guy would be considered a crackpot, fringe, unemployed economist if it wasn't for this guy, John Allison, who was the president of BT&T Bank, who is now the president of the Cato Institute, giving him a $500,000 grant to go into this university and teach this stuff. And not only that, the Koch brothers themselves, through Americans for Prosperity and FreedomWorks, have given over $22 million to right-wing talk show hosts, including Mark Levin and Laura Ingraham, who are claiming that they're the ones who elevated him to stardom and caused him to win this seat. Now, that says to me this guy's going to be formidable.
Well, I'm not going to debate with you how much power talk radio hosts have, because we all know that you guys are the supreme ultimate power. So, honestly, if Laura Ingraham and
in my
Mark
dreams
and Glenn Beck, if they want to sit there and take full credit for it, go for it. The key is we won in the end.
But was there a Tea Party? I mean, you're in the Tea Party. Was there a Tea Party ground game for Dave Bratt?
Okay, the concept of having a Tea Party ground game is kind of funny in the first place. If there's anything that these primaries have proved to the general public on both sides of the aisle, that I don't care whether your last name is Express, Net, Works, Growth, Prosperity, whatever it is, there's no single national Tea Party organization. And that's, Barack Obama could have run as a Tea Party candidate and nobody could have done anything about it. That's the thing here. So for any national Tea Party group to say this is our Tea Party candidate, whether you're talking about Bratt, whether you're talking about Bevins, whether you're talking about McConnell or McDonald down in Mississippi, there's not one.
So if Bratt didn't have a Tea Party group, a local Tea Party group that was going door to door knocking on doors for him, and I've seen his flyer, and it's not bad. I mean, if I was a conservative Republican, I probably would have been horrified by it, but Eric Cantor's flyer is twice as big and twice as fancy and basically says that Dave Bratt is, a liberal college professor who's shilling for the Democrats, don't vote for him. It would confuse me, I think. It wouldn't really get me out. So does that mean that Laura Ingraham and Mark Levin are right, that they're the ones who flipped this election?
No, I think there were local Tea Party groups that got out there and worked for Brett. I think the Young Republicans were there. I've seen several quotes from the president of the Young Conservatives in the area. I think the local Tea Party groups did get out there and work for him. I think it was a mass thug here, but here's the deal. Money cannot buy truth. And every night on the national media, every night on local media, Cantor's voting record and him pushing immigration, you can't buy that type of advertisement as a candidate. And that's what was on there. And
but so Cantor has been saying that Cantor just set the June agenda for Congress, and he took immigration off it, which kills it for the year. I mean, he single-handedly yesterday made it impossible for immigration to come up until 2015.
Which is funny considering Cantor up to 3 weeks ago we looked like was double digits ahead of Bratt, and Bratt never had a chance. The problem is Cantor has flip-flopped on issues. And we are learning in Washington, D.C., flip-flopping doesn't go over well, especially on my side. Doesn't go over pretty well on your side either. Yeah. We might forgive, but we don't forget. But let me just point this out about the Koch brothers' money, because you and I go back and forth about the Koch brothers. Did they just give a very large donation to the NAACP? So can you now, or the United Negro College Fund? So can you now say that they're a branch of the Koch brothers as well?
Well, A, it was a relatively small donation, and B, they would love to have black conservatives. They're funding several black conservative groups, so it makes perfect sense to me. Anyhow,
so
Scotty...
You're part of that group that says that they need to give back the money and not accept the Koch money?
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 866-987-THOM.
I'm sorry, Scotty, that guy always steps on us. Scotty Nell Hughes, TPNN.com. Thanks for being with us, Scotty.
Thank you.
Good talking with you.